Back to KID VID Cinema Day 4. I hope you guys have had a wonderful week and you've met lots of new friends. Today, our video is going to be about Isaac. Isaac has a little brother named Joel who passed away at a very young age from cancer. Now that is not something that happens very often. It's not something that we should be afraid of or worry about. There is a beautiful place called heaven, and his family is very happy to know that that's where he is, spending all of his time with Jesus. We're going to watch a video about Isaac and about what Isaac does to get through these hard, sad times.
I'm Isaac and I'm 11 years old. At home I like to, a lot of times I play video games. I have two brothers. One's older than me. He's into acting and singing. My younger brother Elijah, he's 7. My sister's name is Zoe, but she, like a normal 4-year-old toddler, will make messes all the time, paint on the walls.
Isaac also dances.
I started dancing, I think like 2 years ago. My favorite kind of dance is contemporary or lyrical. It's sort of like ballet, but it's a little more free. I always felt like when I was dancing, I wasn't really stressed about anything or worried. Sort of forget about anything else that is bothering you.
Isaac had another brother named Joel.
Joel was 2 years younger than I am. He was always really happy and joyful. When he was 1, he was diagnosed with brain cancer.
Cancer is a disease that most kids do not have or get.
He had to do some crazy thing to get rid of it, and it was gone for a year. But then it came back and they said he only had a few months to live, but then he lived 5 more years.
Sadly, Isaac's little brother Joel died.
One of the things I remember a lot about him is he always had that little giggle. He always loved knocking cup towers down. So he'd make one that was maybe double the size of him, and he'd run into it and it would come down and he'd laugh so hard. A lot of times we'd take him to this farm. It was like a petting zoo in some places, and you could feed the animals. I have this one memory of Joel. He was feeding the goats, so we give him the bag to reach in and give to the goats, but then he just gives the bag to the goats, and the goat devours the whole thing. Joel always loved animals. One time he got to ride a pony and he was so happy. He loved it.
Isaac misses his brother Joel. Joel loved Jesus and believed in him too.
A lot of times I feel sort of like I miss him and pretty sad, but I'm glad that he's in heaven and he can do so many things that I can't even do right now. Dancing always cheers me up because it makes me think about God and how he's with Joel and he is amazing.
Isaac knows that because of Jesus, he will be able to see his brother again in heaven.
I sort of look forward to hearing his giggle, and I look forward to running up to him and giving him a grand old hug.
In the Bible, the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 11 says, "The Spirit of God who raised Jesus from the dead lives in you."
I feel like that verse makes me feel sort of hopeful that we can share the power of God and the Holy Spirit with the whole world, and that one day we can all know Jesus and God and praise and worship together. Even if we die, we still get to live forever in heaven with God, and Jesus' power is letting you live forever.
Jesus' power lets us live forever.
All right, boys and girls, wasn't that an awesome video? You learned all about Isaac and how he dances, and his dancing helps him to think of God's love and how beautiful heaven is going to be. What do you think heaven looks like? I think that it is a beautiful place where we all get to live with Jesus forever and ever and ever. So I have another Bible verse for you, and it is, "The Spirit of God who raised Jesus from the dead lives in you." And you can share that message with your friends and your family. We'll do it again. The Spirit of God who raised Jesus from the dead lives in you. And that is so promising to think about. So that brings me to our new buddy, Finn. Finn, he is a rainbow trout, and he looks, I don't know, he's so just happy to look at. He's rainbow and he's all sparkly, and you can put your hands together like this and make a little fish. Just make little fish moves, and you can get your parents with that. And when you see Finn, you can just think about all of Jesus's love and how it just makes you happy. So the Spirit of God who raised Jesus from the dead lives in you, and we will live forever with him. Trust Jesus.